What's up, everybody in YouTube land? We're going to take a look at the S&P 500. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to try to get a glimpse as to what we can expect coming up in this week to come. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you stick around until the end. So as you can see right here on the Bitcoin USD chart, last week we got a clear breakout above resistance. The resistance line that I speak of is $21,831. With this week, you can see that we did take out last week's high, but we are trading up into a weekly supply zone. This is why we are finding a ton of resistance currently on the Bitcoin price chart. Now, I have a red line drawn from this supply zone at 23,177 down to 21,831, not because I'm bearish. Ultimately, I am bullish, and I have been bullish ever since $16,530, and followers of the channel know why. It's simply because it's the start of a fresh new year, and that was when we became buyers on Bitcoin because we were pretty certain that the lows were in. All right, so moving on. Here you can see the red line pushing back down to this old resistance level. So if we were to pull back, I think that we could pull back all the way down to 21,831. That is a significant level as it is a weekly close. Going down into the daily time frame, you can also see how on this day right here, your expansion day, it basically makes this resistance line the midpoint of the breakout candle. That is typically a legit level because you need a substantial amount of volume to push through those higher levels if the breakout is going to sustain any topside rally. So as you can see, we are similarly, as the weekly shows, we are running out of steam and we are running out of momentum at the top here on the daily chart. Now, Bitcoin is still massively overbought, and it is printing bearish divergence on the daily time frame, just like it was printing bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. I am not a trader of divergences. I merely point them out for technical traders that are. You clearly have divergence playing out here. And a pullback to 21,831, in my opinion, would be a fantastic spot. And if depending on how quickly we get there, how big the candle is, could cause a significant cool down in this indicator. Remember, anything above the 50 is where we want to be a buyer, but we need Bitcoin to pull back into and form a bit of support first. You definitely do not want to be buying up in here. Is there potential that Bitcoin finds support here and the rally sustained and you continue higher? Of course, there is a possibility for that. But in my opinion, the opportunity to be a buyer on Bitcoin has been here since June. And since June on this channel, we have been telling people that you want to buy Bitcoin when Bitcoin is undervalued. And there is a significant indicator that we've been using since June to tell us that. Over here on Glassnode Studio, you can see that basically this is the indicator. It is the MVRVZ score. Now, historically, ever since Bitcoin has been a tradable asset, you have been undervalued anytime you were in this green area. The orange line is the oscillator. It's the indicator, if you will. And the white line is simply Bitcoin's price chart. So basically, you can see down here in the green, that is basically when we switch our bearish bias to bullish. We've been very consistent on this channel about this ever since we came into the green zone back here in June. This channel has switched from looking at Bitcoin through eyes of a bearish perspective and changing to looking at Bitcoin with the eyes of opportunity. This is when Bitcoin historically has been an area where you wanted to be a buyer. We thought we had the lows in June, but unfortunately everybody by now knows about the FTX debacle, the scam that caused Bitcoin to put in fresh lows. We are of the mindset that FTX debacle also caused the final capitulation. So we've definitely been bullish ever since then. So yeah, ever since Bitcoin's been in this green zone, this channel has been adamant about telling you guys out there to switch your bear caps around and start to be bullish again. Look for value, watch support zones, things like that. So this is when we wanted to be a buyer down in here. You can see that Bitcoin's price has once again broken up out of the undervalued region. A pullback could potentially put you back in the undervalued region. And yeah, that's any time at any price in this area, you could be a buyer. You just have to manage your risk. You have to manage your downside risk. We are absolutely looking for a continuation, but we need Bitcoin to pull back to a level, find support. We don't know if this level will be support. It's just the first area to look for support to start to show itself. There are a couple daily levels of supply that Bitcoin blasted through. You can see this one here. It did act as resistance for multiple days, and then you got the breakout above. This is another supply zone that you busted out through. And both of these areas are significant supply zones. Once they were made, price never revisited those areas. Currently, we are trading above both of them. So yeah, I do believe you're going to see a little bit of a pullback. You will have plenty of time to be able to buy Bitcoin. There will be multiple opportunities still. This is just the beginning. The opportunity is not past. You are not late. And you are not missing anything. So please do not FOMO into any asset. Let the assets pull back. Let them find support. And finally, coming over here to the S&P 500, you can see that on the daily time frame, you are clearly above the 50 on the RSI, which is a momentum oscillator. You are also clearly above the 21 exponential moving average. Clearly, we're not out of the woods yet. There is still a lot of data out there that suggests the markets could still end up being bearish, or at the very least sideways for the majority of 2023. So in order to help you to keep things simple, I suggest you do this. If you want to be a buyer on the S&P 500, I think as long as price is trading above 38.45 at significant support zones, then you can be a buyer. If you don't know how to identify significant support zones, then make sure you click the subscribe button, as I will be talking about them on a weekly basis, as we put out 2 to 3 videos every week on this channel. 38.45.40 is the yearly opening range, and that is a significant level to watch, as if you are under it, then that means the yearly trend is bearish. As you are above it, the yearly trend is bullish. And as long as we're above it, we look to be buyers at support. 39.24 is an area of potential demand. That's where I would love to see the S&P pull back to and hold support. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Also, smashing the like button is appreciated. As always, we trade the Forex markets, Bitcoin, and alts. We also trade stocks and options, so we do a little bit of everything on the channel. And thank you for your time if you stuck around until the end. Make sure you guys trade safe, make sure you trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.